Alright. So, right. Yeah, we starting off with Uraraka and Azrael. No, obviously Bakugo don't know Azrael. Really don't know Uraraka either. But he got the confidence, arrogance, he feel like he gonna win. He don't really need to plan that. He don't really gotta plan it out that much. Uh, most niggas not stopping explosions. So we kinda, we it made sense the first time. Hmm. Azrael talking with Uraraka, they talking about the what quirks they can use and all that, right? Flowey, he don't care about none of that. Not at all. He hear about her quirk. It's like, oh good. Yeah, the girl that makes people zero gravity against a super fast individual and an explosion pyromaniac. I'm so glad that we have you on our team. You feel me? I just like ignore him. He doesn't speak for both of us. I'm sure that I think we gonna win this for real. Blah blah this that and the third. Uraraka, she listening. She don't really know which one to believe for real because she don't know them. You feel me? And it's like, yeah, don't just let's just focus on this win. Flowey, he bounced off of Azrael on some. Yeah. Don't trust me. Don't trust the honest one. You feel me? I'm the one that's making sure that we get out of this alive versus dude that explodes everything. Don't trust me. Yeah, whatever. You know, Azrael. He can't stop him from talking all the time. All right. Not all the time. Not when he having in the middle of the conversation. He's just gonna have to let that motherfucker rock and hope that the people with him don't take it to the heart. Either way, match start. They could have been there, looking around. They on something. All we gotta do is find the bomb. We pretty sure it's gonna be nice. They don't know what the tactic, because they don't know Bakugo. They don't know either. So they don't know what tactics gonna be employed. But as they hear Bakugo running around, exploding things in the upper levels. He like, all right, we're gonna do this real quick. That's what my boy Azrael, that's what he's talking about, right? He really just put the vines, let the vines spread out throughout the walls, see where other people is, see where the missile is, because he feel like they gonna need that. They gonna need it. It's not worth attacking right now because that gives more information than is necessary. So they're gonna continue to walk about. Bakugo finally find him. He come around the corner with some explosions ready. Boy Azrael, he put the plant life up, put the vines up as a shield to take most of the explosion. Uraraka, she over here don't know what to do. Azrael like, hey, go find a bomb, I'ma handle them, basically, right? She like bet it up. Like, no, actually, she like, you think you can handle them? Fly chipping. He's like, if you don't go find a fucking bomb. So yeah, she leave. Not very confident, obviously, but she leave. And Bakugo like, yo, I don't think that was a good move. Flowey start talking as Azrael lock in real quick. He was like, you wouldn't know a good move if it buried you in the ground. That's what my boy Flower be on. Wouldn't know a good move if it buried you in the ground. This obviously ticked my boy Bakugo off because he feel like youngsters is talking to him disrespectfully. So he launched forward, about to hit him with the explosions. Vines hop out from the wall, throw his ass back. And Azra was like, yeah, she didn't trust me to take care of you. To be honest, I don't really trust her to take care of our boy upstairs either. So I'm gonna leave you with Flowey, and y'all seem to be a perfect match. I'm gonna let this fight hurry out, and I'm gonna get going. See, and he leave. You feel me? Leaving Flowey there because Flowey can detach from him. Can't stay detached, but he can detach from him. And Bakugo, he feeling even more disrespected. He's like, "Nah, hold on, get y'all it's back here." He starts trying to fly past the flower because he don't know about him. He just don't know, right? Before before Azrael could even hit the corner for real, Flowey done grabbed him by his leg, slammed him to the wall to the floor, and said, "Like I said, you wouldn't know a good move if it buried you in the ground." You feel me? Before Azrael leave, he like, "Hey, don't kill him. Just don't fucking kill him. Just make sure you don't kill him." You feel me? And he leave. He was like, "Shut up. I got this little idiot." You feel me? He talking. He talking, right? Bakugo pissed if we being 100. He like, hold on. Not only did I get left by a sub part of this motherfucker quirk, he left me with this motherfucker and he's talking head to me. I'm about to crash out. So he like, all right, bet. You know, he's still underestimating him. So it's gonna be a back and forth fight for a little second. Uraraka done made it up to where Ida is. They they not and they going a little back and forth up until Azrael pull up. Ida just making sure that the bomb ain't getting captured. But so when Azrael come in, he run all the way to the to the side wall. You feel me? Away from both of them. The only reason why Uraraka was able to find it this easily is because Azrael's vines was all throughout the spot, and they led her to the area. We're gonna focus on this fight with Bakugo, right? Bakugo hop up, explosions up, trying to leap towards this flower. Flowey, he dip on the ground. Bakugo end up going right past him. He don't get him. You feel me? Flowey come back. It's like, wow, you really are an idiot. What kind of move was that, villain? You trying to take me out? You're gonna have to try a lot harder than that. You feel me? Bakugo, he hear that, he turn around, trying to get close to him. It's like, stop running. Just really trying to take his life. You feel me? Bakugo don't see this as an individual. He sees it as part of a quirk, so he's really trying to take his life. Either way, as that motherfucker fly, he just zipping through the zipping through the floors. He started using them friendliness pellets. Started shooting them at him. Right, Bakugo, he starts seeing. He's like, oh, he didn't leave this flower with me for no reason. This flower hidden. All right, he didn't get hit by it. But the whole move by itself made him realize that this was not something he was supposed to be going up against. Not right now. You feel me? I mean, if it was it's most definitely, he feels like it's most definitely a fight he couldn't win. It's just not a fight that he needs to take at the moment. You feel me? He's a lot less prideful than his canon counterpart. Either way, right? As he started dodging these friendliness bullets, and Flowey's not really trying to hit him with it because he don't want to cause this nigga to die or some shit. They're just to create distance from him and all this other stuff. Either way, Bakugo, he look over to where the stairs is. He see they blocked off by the vines. He was like, all right, no other options. Lift up the grenade gauntlet. He was like, hope you can dodge this. Pull the pin on him. Fly was like, ah. As he see that goddamn flame coming towards him, he get away a little bit. He actually do get away. But it was most definitely enough of a distraction for him to rip through the vines that was covering the stairs and try to make his way to the top. Now Flowey, he a little partially burned. He didn't realize that was gonna do as much as it did, but it did. And he's more mad, if nothing else, fucking angry, if we're being honest. So He go through the walls and stuff, and as Bakugo trying to get back to the bomb area, Flowey pop up from behind, and it's like, where do you think you're going? Bakugo, he stop, he turn around, then he get hit with friendliness bullets. No, pellets. Friendliness. He get hit with the bullets. Right, he get hit with the bullets. It's nothing vital. You feel me? I don't even think that. I wouldn't even say they break skin for real, but they pack a punch. You feel me? He was like, oh, good. I don't have to worry about killing you right now. As he, Savon pull up and try to slam into him while he flying backwards from the friendliness pellets, from the bullets. Bakugo, he see it, start exploding themselves towards where he was going already. They already got a vine area, like caging that place off, so he runs straight into the vines, and he gets wrapped up. That villain's captured. I guess technically he could explode himself out, but hitting a wall of vines would also probably give his ass a concussion. That nigga captured. Either way, right? He came in on some bullshit in the first place, right? While Bakugo and Flower was fighting downstairs, Azrael and Uraraka jumped Ida, and yeah, if Bakugo wasn't doing it, there was no way Ida was going to. So, as he busts in after getting knocked out by them vines and possibly gaining a concussion and being wrapped up in those vines, Flowey come in, and, Uraraka and Azrael, they was looking at this whole scene as both Ida and Bakugo were wrapped up in vines and tape. And they touched the bomb, from bomb defused. You feel me? They win. This was the ultimate victory, technically. I mean, Flowey got touched, but they don't consider Flowey a person. It's a quirk. Ida got a couple hits in. Not enough though. You feel me? Not even enough to even talk about, if we being honest. And yeah, first match out of the bag, we win. Heroes win. We pull over to, next match that I'm talking of. Papyrus Frisk. Heroes versus Momo and Mineta. Villains. You feel me? They protecting the bomb and all that. Now, All Might had less to say about the Bakugo using his gauntlet thing, because All Might also see Flowey as a quirk. It's kind of embarrassing to use it on something so small and seemingly, weak, but fighting them, seeing how the battle took place in the first place, it was like, it wasn't there was nothing else he could do for real. He did the best he could. He could have did a little bit better, I guess. This, that, and the third. But he did what he did. He did what he could. Obviously, Bakugo was distraught at the loss because he's supposed to be the number one hero, and how the fuck is the number one hero ever gonna lose? And this, that, and the third. You know how it is. Either way, on to Papyrus and them, right? Now, Papyrus obviously doesn't remember anything about Frisk, so he needs to know what that quirk is, or his past life at all, so he need to know what that quirk is, right? And some more stuff, Frisk explained it to him. Have I explained what that quirk is? Papyrus gets a refresher, right? Based on how much they desire something to happen, they can will it to happen, right? And it mainly takes place in their bodies, but it can take place with some weapons and other stuff, on some physical stuff, if they want to be faster, at the moment, they don't get faster, want to be stronger at the moment, they can be stronger. Endurance, fucking, just more than that, they got different weapons they can summon, all this other stuff, right? Papyrus explains his quirk, which Frisk fully remembers, at least fully remembers what he was doing in the past. And, hearing more, she like, say, oh yeah, I remember this and that. And then she's like, oh, you got a lot more than what I remember your ass having previously. You feel me? Yeah, we got my mom and that upstairs and making a barricade and all this other stuff, mad at me and the pervert. It's besides the point. Honestly, right? I don't know why the plan for Momo and Minetta was to barricade the room and stopping them from entering. Like, I guess it would make sense if it was just Dinky and Jiro, but I don't know if it would be the same plan if it was somebody else entirely, two other individuals entirely. Either way, Momo got to carry. Either way, you feel me? Momo got to carry. So because Minetta, especially at this point in the stage, is way too much of a child and and a child to really protect anything at the moment at all, right? But she does make use of them. We gonna follow it. We gonna follow it through, right? So, Friskin, Papyrus go up in there. They, walking around, they ain't seeing too much of anything at the moment, right? Frisk start using her quirk to hear, sense, whatever, wherever they are. You feel me? She started, using determination. And she like, oh shoot, I think I know where they is. You feel me? And Papyrus like, oh really? Wow, that quirk is amazing. Where are they? You feel me? Frisk extra happy because we got Papyrus here. All right, everybody loves Papyrus. It's just, everybody loves Papyrus. I don't think you can be somebody and not love Papyrus. You don't love Papyrus, you might just be a psychopath for real. And I'm, and even then, I feel like a psychopath would have some respect for the boy. Either way, we'll let it slide. Right? We continue. They, Papyrus following her. They get around to the area and all that, right? And they stop around a hallway full of sticky balls. Fucking terrible. It's not as much as it could be. It's not as much as it could be because Minetta sucks. But that's besides the point. Papyrus, he see all of it, and he like, all right, looks like we found our way here. All right, let's see. He starts looking around. First, like, what are you looking for? It's like, I was looking, I was measuring how much this looks like. It looks about right, And he summoned his Gaster Blaster, which kind of surprises Frisk because the only time she hasn't seen one of these is with Sans, so it's a little unnerving kind of, but either way, right? Papyrus like, I sit on it, big enough for them both to ride. They both hop on. It's like, all right, hold on tight. As Papyrus, make sure they, you feel me? Make sure they don't fall off into the stickiness of the balls, right? Papyrus doesn't know what they do, but he got the instincts enough to realize that whatever they are is a deterrent. You feel me? And to step on them, it's probably stupid. We probably shouldn't be doing that. A trap, come on, a puzzle. Either way, if they had more time, Momo could have had something that stopped them from flying in, but they didn't have that much time. So yeah, they flying straight. They going fast. You feel me? Fucking First holding on for their life almost to Papyrus. They get down to the exit to the door. They use bones to bust in. They ain't even gonna touch the door. They're gonna fly open because of the bones. Now, opening the door triggers a trap that would naturally blind them. but just coming in on some superhero stuff in the first place. They hop off the gaser blasters. You feel me? Kind of avoid the trap a little bit, you know, partially blind, less blind than they would have been if they ran in here full force, you know. Mineta start throwing his hair around, you feel me? Papyrus summon a bone, start catching them with the bone. Realize they was stuck to him or to the bone. Frisk look over, she see Momo making some more stuff. Now we got the red determination staff versus Momo's metal rod staff. You know, they going back and forth with the pole. They pole dancing. Stop it. Y'all doing too much. Either way, you know, Papyrus easily handles Mineta. Mineta ain't got a single move up he ain't got no bag at all. And Papyrus's bag is extensive. Very, very, very deep. He got a deep bag. All right. You know, you thought Sukuna had moves. You thought Sukuna's bag was deep. Man, Papyrus bag deepest. The deepest bag possible either way. It's gonna get deeper as the show continues anyway. You know, Papyrus, he, you know, for just to clarifying what he does to this boy, you know, as he throwing all these hair balls at him. You know, Papyrus, you know, abnormal speed, just start dodging them outright. You know, as the balls fall onto the floor, they stick to the floor, you know, and all that. So, you know, he ain't got to touch the balls on the floor, so he throw the bone at him. You feel me? It gets stuck to. No, it doesn't get stuck to him. So he sees that it doesn't even get stuck to him. And at that moment, he realizes everything special about this motherfucker quirk. You feel me? It sticks to anything he wants it to stick on. He could probably make it sticky, like very sticky or less sticky, depending on how he's feeling. And they don't stick to him. That's all that's special about it. It's everything he needed to know about his quirk, right? After you know, finding out about that, right? You know, he hit him with a blue attack. You feel me? Turn his soul blue. Now, I don't know if I've said this previously, but you know, all turning the soul blue does is locks him in a 1v1. Papyrus can make attacks come from behind, just like his opponents can make attacks come from behind if they have a quirk like that. And he can make attacks come from the front. They locked in. They can't go side to side, basically. This is a normal blue attack mode though, right? I mean, this isn't like Sans taking a nigga and throwing him across the wall. It's just what normally would happen if the soul turned blue. He started summoning, you know, blue attacks. He was like, the nigga, you know, he had to warn them. You feel me? Because Papyrus is nice like that. You know, he on some. I'm gonna give away my secrets because they're not secrets to me. He's nice either way. On some, don't move. That motherfucker don't listen. Obviously, he think he's supposed to move, and you're just not supposed to move. You feel me? You get hit with him, it hurt. You get slammed into the walls and stuff. It's like, I told you don't move. I mean, blue attacks means you don't move. Orange attacks, you feel me? Start throwing the orange attacks out there. That means you have to move through them. Mineta's stupid. All right, he was gonna get hit with those two. He started not moving because he was scared. He got hurt a lot. You feel me? Papyrus was like, all right, this motherfucker ain't learning nothing. I'ma just capture him and go about my day real quick. This was not a good fight. You feel me? He didn't want to do too much hurt to him. That wasn't the plan. You feel me? Obviously, Papyrus got extensive training on his quirk, quote unquote. You know, the original Papyrus, like he was so good at his game that he genuinely could not kill you because he does not want to. Toriel couldn't even do that shit, and her whole character is about not hurting people. Either way, Papyrus recognizes that this motherfucker is in no condition to fight him anymore. So, you know, he hit him with the tape. Well, he get closer as Mineta try to move some more, but he just hit him on his head a little bit and knocked him out. Put the tape on him. Move on to the next one. Now back to Frisk. You know, fighting Momo. You know, They're pretty even with the bow staffs while Papyrus is back there barely trying. You feel me? So, it get Frisk a little bit more determined. You feel me? I win. I don't lose. I've been through way too much to lose to some schoolgirl in this motherfucker. You feel me? Some special quirked up schoolgirl. So, with the determination rising, the senses rose too. She tried to go for with a poke with the boat with the metal pole. First start dodging them boys, grab the pole, sweep the leg, hit it with the stomach staff, you feel me? It was over because she got too determined. The battle finished, all right? It's it was just it was just quick with it. She was just too quick with it. All right. When that happened, it was like, oh shoot. I, I did a little bit too much, but at the same time, that's exactly what I needed. The whole time, Momo, she nice too. At least a lot better than Minetta. You feel me? So, she take the time while falling to make some stuff. Over here made a rope. You feel me? Make some rope. So when she fell, it wrapped around Frisk, have her fall. They over here trying to tie each other up. You feel me? It was going crazy. Frisk, Papyrus turned around this time. He see it. He like, oh wow, y'all really y'all really getting down. All right. I wonder if I could just grab this bomb. You feel me? He really trying to figure out the fastest route to stopping this situation, because in Papyrus's head they already won. It wasn't a situation where Momo was gonna beat him and her by herself. Not that that's what Papyrus was thinking, but just because in his head he walked into here thinking he won. You feel me? He beat Minetta thinking he won, and he gonna touch this bomb and know he won. You feel me? Either way. Hey, yeah, it's me, the real me, the editing me. Yeah, that one. I'm interrupting real quick. Little story for you, a little funny. What had happened was, I was recording this while I was going to school, university or college, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Either way, middle of the night type shit. Almost the time that I be going to sleep. Around that time I was going. What it is. And the alarm that I use to rest, tell myself to go to sleep so that I don't be up all night playing games and so, that went off in the middle of the recording, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, I'll just edit it out during post. What I failed to realize as I continued the story was that the alarm actually turned off my recording. So I got to, wherever I got to after I had, did what I did, that same night. What I'm saying is basically this is probably the most energetic you'll actually hear me throughout the rest of this video. My apologies. We'll fix that next time respectfully. Now I got some people out there that's actually watching it. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to be here, tell the stories and all that. But other than that, that's the reason why the quality difference shifts. Because that same night, after after the alarm went off and I realized that my recording had stopped after telling this entire story, or this entire part of the story, I re-recorded it. Yes, me, big what's my name on YouTube? Either way, you feel me? So I said everything I had said before, right? Some of the jokes I didn't mess with, but I kept it in because I thought it was funny the first time, and it's my video, so respectfully, yeah, hope to see y'all in the next episode, part, whatever you call it. Story always gonna be here, hopefully, so you can watch it whenever. And Like and subscribe or some shit, you know? I'm trying to see some. Anyway, I'm gonna leave y'all alone now. Back to the story. First seeing Papyrus, kind of, be like, yo, what should I be doing on? It make first, a little bit, determined a little bit more. I gotta really win. Now I gotta really win because the homie done already won his side of things. So I gotta win my side of things. She'll start, in this dialogue with herself. You feel me? First, I mean, not first. Mama start, wrapping her up in the ropes. You feel me? It start, about to start. You feel me? Finish the job. All over her back and stuff. Once you get to the back, first, determined to win, jumps up in the air, slams into the roof. You feel me? Slams into the roof. And as she falling down, first wrap her up in the ropes, bow tied that boy, put her down 0.5. Put her down 0.5, nigga. Wrapped her up. It was over. And I ain't trying to hear no. Bakugo coulda, Bakugo woulda. You feel me? I ain't trying to hear no. Ida got. I'm not trying to hear no. Momo was in Mineta. Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? Either way, Lakers in 5. Shit don't make sense the first time, bro. Lakers in 5. All right, Lakers in 5. Either way, Papyrus. First look over Papyrus like, Papyrus like, oh, that was great. You was doing your thing, man. That's wild. Wow, man, you feel me? On his Papyrus stuff. Hit that, wow, man, you really go ahead, say, you really hit that, boy. Good job. I always believe in you. Man, I always believe in you. Good job, Frisk. Frisk happy. Feel me? The homie happy. They touched the bomb. Game over. You feel me? It's over. Lakers in 5. Come on now, Lakers in 5. Anyway, we go. So, we go from that to Sans and Chara. Villains versus Dinky and Jiro. Heroes. You feel me? Huge disadvantage. Just a huge disadvantage. That's all it is. They could have been going up against anybody else and had way better outcomes. Just way better advantage. Either way. First and Char, you feel me? They over here about a bomb. For Sans, not First and Char. Sans and Char. You feel me? Sans and Char, they over here about a bomb. You feel me? Sans watched the last match. He was happy with it. He was cooling. He was, bro won. You feel me? Now he feel like he got to win too, but, he ain't too worried about it. So, he start resting on the floor next to some pillar. Char like, could you at least try to take this seriously? And Sam's like, what are you talking about? I'm as serious as I've always been. You feel me? I'm really more serious now than I've ever been. And then as he starts to snore, and since Char is like, oh no, fucking. And then she started thinking back, and she was like, she started thinking about it, and she was like, it's really not a reason to have a plan either. She know what Sans was doing in the last world. She got full faith that if this motherfucker is slightly trying, there's no way they win. There's no way the other team wins if Sans is slightly trying, barely. You feel me? Because she gonna be fully trying. She gonna be, even if it's a 1v2, she gonna be fully trying. You feel me? And she don't even know if they can win that for real. But if it was Sans slightly trying, there's no way they win. Not at all. So she leaned up against the pillar. She started resting too. You feel me? They waiting for the homies to come in, right? Jiro searching for him. They being so goddamn quiet, barely talking and moving. She almost missed them, but she found them. Heartbeats and all that other stuff, right? Tell them where they was and tell them that they, being quiet and it's a little suspicious and it's on the third. And Dinky full confidence, just one of the coolest motherfuckers out here, if I'm being honest. I mean, that's one of my favorite characters, if I'm being 1,000. You feel me? Just fucking being cool. You feel me? Like, don't worry about it. I got him. You feel me? Started generating the lightning in his hands and shit. I mean, the motherfucker just is cool. All right, he's just cool. It's just a cool individual. All right. Kid down the door, and I was like, all right, villains, I got something shocking to show you. You feel me? Start palm the ground. Palm the ground, lightning start flowing to the floor. When Gerald hear him come up into the room, she like already moved off the pillar. You feel me? It was more intent on, facing him, especially considering the Sans was still laying down. She seen the lightning come, so she jumped over it. Sans just teleports away. He in a vantage point, he just watching, Char pull, summon the knife. And, just off the movements, just off the look and the feel of the situation, Sans is like, oh damn, you feel me? He getting the flashbacks. It's just like, oh my gosh. He fully shocked, but he can't show the expression. Can't show it because he's nice like that. You feel me? It's Sans. He's shocked, but he can't let anybody else know he's shocked because that's gonna ruin things. At least he feels it's gonna ruin things. It's not really, even if it is, but he's gonna feel like it's ruined things. All right, it's perfectionist, not really, kind of, but not really. You feel me though? He's shocked though. It's like the kid was moving, different. The dodges, yes, the determination grew, kind of, but it wasn't super similar, right? This movement here is precisely what he was fighting in Judgment Hall. And it's like, yo, he was wondering how Char was connected. Char was the influence. At least that's how he's perceiving it. But at the same time, he don't know. And because he don't know, because if that was the case, why is Fritz friends with her? And if that's the case, why are they both trying to be heroes? It doesn't make sense to him. So he's annoyed a little bit, but he gonna find it out later, right? Either way, that's all happened in Sansa's head at this first movement that Chara done made. You feel me? Summoning this knife and all that, right? But she ready to strike. She slashed down, then he jumped back. He like, oh my gosh, you got hurt somebody. And Chara's like, I'm a villain, remember? Grab him by his neck, put him over the shoulder, slam him to the ground. Jill trying to walk up with the headphones in her boots, trying to give her some of them heartbeat waves. Sans peep it, he teleport over there, teleport Chara out before she can even get hit by any of that shit. You feel me? Chara's like, thanks. Sans like, it's alright. It's okay. He making no jokes. Just like, that's alright. Chara realized, maybe the movement was a little, maybe because she know he's perceptive as fuck. So it's like, dang, I mean, yeah, maybe, but she don't got all the answers right now. I mean, but she know about saying it. So it's like, I mean, the comedian can get serious when he wants to. Either way, what she focused on right now is winning this match. So, she walk up. So she's, stand up straight. Jiro come over trying to, like, Dinky, get up. Damn, you feel me? Dinky, get up. Dinky, like, oh shit, I'm up, I got it. Like, he face him again. It's like full confidence, just fully confident in his quirk. He was like, don't worry, I got him. He rush up, you feel me, trying to get it and close the distance on him. Since just walking forward calmly, you feel me, fling him into the wall, hold him there. He can't move no more, right? Walk past him, you feel me? It's like, just give up. I don't want to hurt you. And Jero, she like, there's obviously decisions here. I mean, getting treated like Dinky is not something that she want to do. So, but it's also like, damn, do I give up? But then it's like, I don't want that to be my start to this shit. You feel me? Giving up because I'm facing somebody stronger? That's bullshit. You feel me? That's just not something that she on. But at the same time, this is training, and I mean, yeah, she a little conflicted, but she leaning more towards I'ma fight anyway. You feel me? Before she even get a chance to do or say anything, Char come out of nowhere with the over the top, about to slash on him still. And it's like, well, just jumped over Sands, about to finish the whole match. Because Char on some man, she didn't get that option. She wasn't supposed to have that option. Nobody was supposed to be able to run. You came here for the smoke. You get the smoke. There was no other option but to fight. Should have made that decision sooner. You feel me? So she tried to run off. You feel me? When she seen Char falling over closer to her, it was too late. Just made it easier for Char to hit her with that tape, wrapped her up. It's over. Sam see it, and he refuses to comment on it because he can't make a comment on it. But because everything in him makes it feel like, yo, that's a little passive aggressive. So let me just, you feel me? So he needs the tape on him to go wrap up Dinky. It's match. It's over. It's wraps. You feel me? Lights out, nigga. Lakers in 5, and you. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, it's over. You feel me? I mean, everybody else, what happens to everybody else. If you don't know what happened to everybody else, I don't either, if I'm being honest. Todoroki, Ojiro, Invisible Girl, whoever was with Todoroki, I think maybe Duvallon, I don't really remember. I don't know. But what I do know, he won. He won. And everybody else, all the other individuals, either way. That's it. That's raps. It's really raps for real. That's all the matches. Glad I got through them. Pretty proud of myself. Either way, right? After all the matches, finish up. Not just the ones I was talking about. All my, he there giving his speech about this, that, and the third. Nobody's super injured, so you don't have to. It's nobody you'll see in the nurse office. So after he finished talking up, he ran off. You feel me? Now everybody, Bakugo's a little distraught and he been distraught because he was the first match and he watched everybody else match and he's like, yo, I fucking lost. I'm like Dinky and Jiro right now, bro. I lost. I'm with them. I'm in their category. You feel me? Oh my gosh, he felt like he should have won, and all might see it, all might see the pride swelling, he like, he gotta do something about that. But right now, he gotta go because this quirk, you feel me? His body ain't right. His body ain't right now. He cannot be seen deflated. Either way, other people was, and they went back to the locker room to, dress back in their normal stuff and all that, right? Papyrus, he like, he look at that look at Sans, Sans like, shrug his shoulders, he like, I mean, and Papyrus basically practically chase after All Might. You feel me? Let's be honest here, because you gotta make sure he's safe and he good and all that. Well, not safe, but not about to die. Yeah, based off what he remembers of their encounter. So, Papyrus, he ran all the way down to the nurse office. He find a deflated All Might, Sans right there with him, just immediately, even though Sans didn't move from his spot, but Papyrus took off, at work. The nurse like, you feel me? Papyrus and Sans, they close the door, make sure it's good. It's like, you good, All Might? You feel me? Now the nurse a little confused. All Might like, it's okay. They know already. They know already and all that, right? And the nurse like, I mean, I guess that's cool. You feel me? I mean, is one of them gonna be a successor or whatever you was talking about? I'm pretty sure it don't matter, right? Um, and I was like, sadly, no. They both said no to it, and this, that, and the third, you know. And she's like, they said no, really? You feel me? It's like, yeah, it's not for us. Either way, you just came to check up on you, see you was good, and all this other stuff, and you know, I might like, yeah, I'm good. I just needed a breather. I'll be all right, especially for the next class and all this other stuff. You know how it is, blah blah, right? And it's like, what I'm saying, it's like, it's cool. We can help you find a successor, like I said. I mean, we got some good potential. We got some potential. We got some potential here. I think. As like, yeah, we got some real good ones. I think Fritz did really good. As a and since he don't trust him, so he's like, yeah, I mean, there's other ones, Todoroki was cool, I mean, too, I don't know what's going on with him, but I mean, I feel like, he got the strength a little bit for it, and they going back and forth, and then I see the appeal in having these two around. Off they back and forth, it's not ever too much. It feels like, and all my, he started laughing. You're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You really don't have to, you don't have to help me and all this other stuff, they Papyrus like, but we want to help you. It's like it would be our pleasure, picking the next All Might. That would be great. And the nurse, just basically had one question. She's like, if you understand this is basically picking the next All Might, why wouldn't you two want it? And and Sans was like, I tried to offer it to him. And I was like, I tried to offer it to him too, but I mean, he wasn't gonna take it. And I wasn't gonna take it. I'm gonna be number one. I'm gonna be the number one hero. It's gonna be one of us for sure. But I mean, yeah, I ain't mad at the competition. You feel me? I'm not gonna cheat to get there. I ain't saying it's cheating. I'm just saying, it's a responsibility. But I feel like me and him, we got this rivalry going on. I can't outdo him too much. And Sam's like, yeah, that's my bro. Isn't he cool? Man. You know what I'm saying? Papyrus are, yeah, all that other stuff. They cheer everybody up, in the room, and that's cool. And, I might send them back to their class, make sure they change their outfits and all that other stuff. You feel me? And it's lit. And it's lit. You feel me? They go back to the class. People in the class like, yo, what's good? Y'all was really doing y'all thing. Minetta a little bit salty at Papyrus. Was like, yeah, man, Papyrus, what the? Come on, now you didn't have to. And it's like, Papyrus like, I told you how to dodge the moves, Minetta. Minetta, you didn't have to. I told you that you had to stay still for the blue and move for the orange. And Minetta was like, wait, you wasn't lying about that? It wasn't. I wasn't gonna get hit either way. It's like, no. If you move for the orange, you're not gonna get touched. You stop for the blue, you ain't gonna get touched. Minetta, for the whites, you gotta dodge them. And it was like, oh dang. I thought you was lying. All this other stuff, Dinky. He was like, man, you didn't have to do me like that in front of the husband, man. You feel me? This brain rot shit is going crazy. I hate it here. Anyway. It's like, maybe next time you can actually do something with all that confidence. You feel me? It's like, it's just a little playful, little get together and all that, right? A little playful, little, you feel me? Bago walking home, sad, distraught. He gonna come back better tomorrow. You don't gotta worry about him. Don't nobody else worry about him either, if I'm being honest, right? But as it gets a little bit later, you feel me? Papyrus and Sans, they start walking home. First Char and Nazriel pull up on them, and they're like, "Can we come over?" You feel me? Because Papyrus is here. Papyrus don't know shit, but they extend this as a, hey, can we come over? And Papyrus like, yeah, wow, we having guests, Sans. So it's like, yeah, it's like it. You know, like, come on, we gotta, yeah, of course I can come over. Come on, let's go catch this train and all this other stuff, blah, 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 this and the third. So they walk them back to their crib, you feel me, train, whatever. And, you know, they go up in there. Only person there is the mom. You feel me? Gas are not there. It don't matter, right? You know, the mom's like, oh yeah, I wish I would have, you know, got some more dinner and all this other stuff. And blah. And Charles like, don't worry, we're not gonna be here for too long and blah blah. You feel me? But you know, Papyrus happy. Take Frisk, take you feel me? Asriel. They you know, only person left, you know, downstairs is Char and Sans. Inko left too. She went to go do something real quick. You know, tension high immediately. You know, as soon as it's just them in the room. And before Sans can even say nothing for real, Char's like, I know what you're thinking. Is that right? And it's like, I can tell you 100% with confidence, of course, not with evidence, but 100% it wasn't us. And, you know, Sans, he looked back at her, you know, then he tried to think back where Inko was going. You know, Inko went to go to the store real quick, send him home with something. That's what the plan was, to say part of Gasper's family friends. And you know, Asriel, Papyrus, Frisk, you know, they upstairs. You like grab the bridge of his nose. For you to even remember that, and then look me in my face and tell me that you didn't do it. And Char's like, from my perspective, it was Frisk. From my perspective. You know, and as it continued, you know, I got a little bit more crazy, you know. But coming here, you know, and having that 1v1 with Frisk, you know, while we were here, I can't say it was her. And, you know, Sans looked back and he's like, from my perspective, you were involved. If nothing else, you could have been an influence into making Frisk even act remotely close to like that. So how do I know it's not you? And you know, Char responds like, Frisk also thought it was me when we seen each other here. And it made us realize that if we were both blaming each other, then who was in control? I thought it was me at the end. I won't lie. But even then, I didn't have full control. I wasn't fully access to the body. So if they thought it was me and I thought it was them, you know, and since he hear this, but it's not convincing. He don't, you know, it's like it seemed like a lot like, you know, he said, she said, and in this case, she said, you feel me? And it's like, so you're going to tell me that you both don't know what happened or who did what at all, you know? And Charles, like, you know, in the beginning, you know, when, you know, before the genocide route even first started, you know, the true pacifist route, you know, it was, you know, even some of the neutral routes, I won't lie, you know, it was us for sure, you know, maybe a curiosity, maybe some, you know, just wanted to save the monsters, but the final reset at the end of any of them, you know, of all of them, and most of the genocides, if not all of them. I mean, it just, I don't know, since I can't tell you. I don't have the answers, and it's hard to expect that you believe us, or even me, especially now. But, you know, I'm telling you what I believe, you know, and looking at her face and, you know, seeing how honest she is. If, you know, he Sans is not like his brother at all. I mean, if he wasn't actively looking at her face right now, he would not believe this individual. But seeing her face, reading her face, this is someone that not only does truly regret what they did for sure, what part they played in whatever mayhem they caused. This is also someone being very, very genuine at the moment, very honest. Somebody that's not. This is someone that isn't looking to deceive him. And it's hard for him to admit that. It's very hard for him to admit that to himself because he thought he had just figured it out. He thought he for sure figured it out. For sure it was over. For sure it was somebody. It had to be the one of the two. Now she over here telling him it's a third. That somebody else entirely showed up and ruined their day. Multiple times across many timelines. And he has to believe her. He has to. He's looking at her face right now. There's no lies there. There's no hostility, no anger towards monsters, no hatred for him. It's the movements that he's seen during that fight for sure were influenced by her. But the hatred, the genocide, it couldn't have been. So, since, he put his hands back up. He's like, let's say I believe you. What now? What else do we do? What's the next steps? You feel me? What are you looking to gain? That's really what he's asking. He's really asking, what are you looking to gain? What's next? What is telling me this information giving you? And Charles like, I mean, I just, me and Frizz both really wanted to let you know that it was okay. But first of all, second of all, I don't know. I mean, I hope that the third entity isn't here. If anything, that it's not still latched on to one of us. And if it is, you would know what to do, And, saying still reading her, you're like, the fact that you sat there and just said that full honesty is just, all right. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I believe you kids. But, if nothing else, if you and Frisk and Flowey I can all remain kids, I won't be the judge. That's really what it is. If they don't go on mass murdering sprees, then he won't have to do anything about it, and it's fine. You feel me? Everybody's alive. Nobody's dead. We're all happy. If it can stay that way, great. That's just what it is, right? They hear a scream, kind of, really a yell, for being honest, right? They run up the stairs, you feel me? They try to see what's going on in here. Papyrus yelling, holding his head and shit, It's just a lot filling him right now. He don't understand. And Sam's like, what did y'all do? What happened? You feel me? And Frizz was like, I was just telling them about the past life, And Sam's, he really don't know what the fuck to do. He's like, yo, what? Was that always the plan? Mentally like, what? Why? He could have stayed the same. We didn't have to change him. But now Papyrus, he kind of, as the memories flood, he passes out, for being honest. And, it's just Sans again, taking care of his little brother. As he, passes out, Sans holding him and, he making sure he good and all that. And he's like, get out. You feel me? And it's like, since I didn't, I was like, get out. They leave the room, since tuck him in bed or whatever, right? He leave his room, surprised they still at the fucking door. Told them niggas to leave. That meant the whole house. No, I'm joking. But he was like, it'll be fine. I understand that you wanted to get it off your chest. I understand that, you probably felt that Papyrus needed to know that. I cannot tell you that he didn't. I can't. But I don't know what that's going to do to him. I don't know what he remembered. I don't know how much he's going to remember if he wakes up, and if he changes. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Y'all know, both of you, all of you know how much I care for my brother. Don't make me regret inviting you into our lives again. And that's real. You feel me? It's real as fuck. They on some yes sir shit at the moment. You feel me? It's like, yeah, I some yes, and that's just off analyzing their faces off that. He's already like, I can't believe I have to trust these little niggas. I just can't believe it. Because none of them seemed like they was, and it's just like, man, I can't believe it. Some bullshit. But yeah, I'm probably about to end it here, for being honest. It's a good little episode. You feel me? I hope y'all have a good night or a great day.